Hello everyone, it's me, Sirenu-Eve Art. I'm sorry that there's a stain. One, I've cut my finger, ouch, it's like bleeding. And two, I got bloody varnish, because I've been varnishing my canvases, my two paintings, and I got varnish on my top, and it's just, I can't get the stain out, so I do apologise about that. For today's video, I have decided that I'm going to do, because I did a poll on my YouTube post section saying what type of videos people would prefer, and the top two were art vlogs, and the main, I think the one that hit first with, I think about 47, I don't know whether it's went up, I haven't checked recently, but about 47% was about what I take plein air painting and my plein air painting kit, basically everything I take with me when I go out. It's outside adventuring off in the wilderness painting, so I've decided to do that and show everybody basically what I take in my plein air painting bag and everything that I travel with whenever I go on any adventure and whenever I paint outside. And I just thought I'd show you everything that I pack. This is the bag I always take plein air painting. I got it from, it's got like a longer strap, but I got it from TK Maxx and it was £24. It's like a mustardy yellow. I love this kind of colour. It's very like sunflower autumnal colour. But it has like, it's got loads of storage. It's got like a massive zip section there and that side. This is a little pouch bit and another little pouch, and then the main bit which has a few pocket sleeves, which is like perfect for if you take an iPad, laptop, phones, chargers, that kind of thing. But this is the bag I always take and I just love it so much. It fits so much in, like half the time like the bag is still really empty, like it just holds a lot. So I thought I would show everybody basically what I take plein air painting with us, and I just thought it'd be a really fun video, and I'll try and do a bit of a chit chat alongside with it and just show you the different things that I take with me. I need a drink, I'm so thirsty today. I don't know why. Oh sorry, if what you're wondering, I have like for my cup thing, it's a skull and it goes on the water like that, on the straw, sorry. So cute. But I'm just really thirsty recently. It's everywhere we've been, the weather's been really nice, other than when I went to Malton picnic area. The weather was still ended up drying up for us, but it was really rainy. And this weekend we went to Wescally or Wescally or Wascally, I don't know how you pronounce it, reservoir. I won't talk or show any footage of that adventure in this video, my plein air painting bag video, just because it's going to be in next week's art vlog, as I will show you where we went, what it looked like, the reservoir. It was really sunny, it was a lovely day. We got there really late though, that was the only downside, so I only got one little painting done, where I wanted to do quite like several different sketches, because I didn't want to just do paintings, I wanted to get some trees drawn and some flowers and some different birds, because there was a heron there, but I just didn't get the time. By the time we got there and I managed to sit down and get everything set up, it was about 7 o'clock, half 7 in the afternoon, and the temperatures just plummeted. It was really sunny on the day, it was about 20 degrees, but then once we got the reservoir it like dropped really cold, and obviously because we're next to an open water source it was just really breezy and cold, and I didn't bring a jacket because I was a silly billy and I just got really nippy, so it was hard to kind of concentrate on painting because I was just focusing on how cold I was. And like I say, the weather's been really nice up here, but since that Sunday when I went out plein air painting, from the evening of Sunday to now, the temperature has just absolutely plummeted, and you can tell that it's went really cold, because we had heat last week. We got temperatures of 32 degrees, and this week, I think today, it's dropped all the way down to 15 or 14 degrees, so it is like really skyrocketed down. And I can tell the plants are confused, because there's like trees in my garden and trees down the road section that takes us to like where our like supermarkets are, and the trees are starting to go like yellowy orange, like ready for autumn, and I'm like, it's literally not even like the end of August yet, so even the trees are confused. So it's just like all over the place basically. But yes, without me rabbiting on too much, I'm just going to show you what in my plein air painting bag, and I hope you guys enjoy. So let's get into the video and see what goodies are in here. So the first thing I'll show is this. It's basically like my little my bamboo wrap, and it has everything in it, and then you just untie it like that. And that was everything well, not everything, but that was what I took in the bamboo wrap. I took some of the Graduate, I took a half oval wash paintbrush. I then took a size 10 Winsor & Newton round. It's one of my favourite watercolour brushes to use. And then I also took another Winsor & Newton professional watercolour sable round brush in size 2. Other paintbrushes which weren't in the bamboo wrap that I took was my portable. Like I said, I took way more than I usually take when I go plein air painting. But I took some of these. They're usually just normal tip sizes. They're like a pointed. The only different one is this one, which I didn't get to try out because I haven't seen like the squared off portable brushes. The rest of you, they're always just usually a round brush, so it was nice to see that one. So I took them 4 as well. I shouldn't really be showing this because it's going to be part of a haul video, because I have been purchasing some new art material. This was one of the items, so I'll quickly show you this now, but I won't obviously do any swatches or show you with it. It is one of the Faber-Castell Jumbo pencils, and I got a 2B, and it is the 9000 Jumbo, so they're really chunky. I think they're, when me and my mum were talking about them, we're not sure if they're made for kids because like they're chunky, but they're really good to use, and I just really like it. So I got one of those, and also I took this with me. I also took my Faber-Castell Pitt Graphite Matte Pen in 2B as well. 2B and 8B are two of my favourite pencil. And then I took a normal mechanical pencil. As I love doing an outline with them. Took a buffer paper scrubby thing that you just use to shade, just in case, because I thought we were going to get to the reservoir. It was Wascally reservoir we went to this weekend, and I thought I was going to get there a bit earlier, but we had issues with the car, and my dad, bless him, had to change all the brake fluid and the discs and had to do the brakes, so I didn't end up getting to do a second sketch. I only got to do one sketch in painting, so I didn't end up using any of these because I was going to draw some tree leaves, but I didn't get around to that. I took my Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Fine Liner pen in black 199. It's a chunky boy. It's a size 0.7 tip. And then I took my 2 Unipin fine liners. I took a 0.5 and a 0.1 in a brown and a grey. And then I just took a load of different Faber-Castell, the Gold Faber Aqua Gel markers. I took things like sky blue, a black to do outlines with. I took a few different browns and like burnt sienna kind of colours, a little range of greens, 2 blues. Even though they're a bit bold for water, I kind of like to do, as you all know, my like kind of abstracty bold outlines and waves on top of my paintings. And that was pretty much all the Faber-Castell I took. These are really good. I don't tend to really use the I always tend to use the brush side rather than the like kind of fine liner tip side you get with these jewel markers. Like there for focuses. I don't tend to use this side on them. I tend to always use the brush pen side. I don't know why. And I also don't, even though they're water soluble, I don't tend to use them like the water soluble aspect either. This is in Water Blue 164, just in case anyone's curious. These are really good to add on top of paintings, but in terms of, especially for the price, they last for ages. I've had these quite a while now, the Faber-Castell Gold Faber. They last a while, and I think they're about £3 each, so they're quite cheap for a marker pen. The only thing is I'm not a massive fan of the watercolour aspect to them, because every time I've added water, I don't tend to find they blend very well. You've really got to be quick with these if you're going to want to use water on them to make them blend. And I definitely would stick to the lighter colours. The darker colours definitely leave streaks behind. So for instance, things like these darker colours, when you use these and add water to them, you've got to be really quick, because a lot of the time there will just be some there will be some swatch marks across the page and they don't really blend out. It's more like your lighter tones like sky blue and like these kind of lighter colours that you can get to blend quite nice. But once you start hitting these like darker blues, darker greens, and even the darker browns, like they can be quite hard to blend out with the water soluble aspect to them. Dun, dun, dun. These were all the Posca markers I took. As always, the white I take everywhere with me. I always use this for highlights and outlines sometimes. And the next one for highlights is my really thin ivory Posca. This is another favourite. It's just really good for fields. If you've got them more moorland areas, it's just good for the lighter patches of grass or heather. It's also just really brilliant for fields, cornfields, wheat fields, all those kinds of things. And I, once again, just like to use them for highlights on tree bark and trees. These are my two top faves for highlighting. The ivory is in a PS1 meter, and then this one is a PC5M. Sorry. So this is a chunky and this is quite thin. And then my other colours I took, this is another one fine tip, and this is also really perfect for moorland. It's called, I think, red wine or wine red. Red wine, yes, is the colour shade name. It's just brilliant for moorland area. Moors is obviously, if you have not been in like a lot of moorland across your life, it's very like these types of tones in moors. These ones, even something as bright as that sometimes for the heather, and like more muted greens like this. These kind of colours are just perfect for those kind of scenery scenes, especially when doing mixed media painting. So use a fine tip of this one. This is brilliant. I love it. And I took dark red. This was in a 3M, so not as chunky as my white. Perfect for if you've got like poppies or little or if you're doing any of the grouse. There was loads of grouse when we went to Weskerley Way and it was so cute. This is another M3M and this is in the colour fuchsia. Perfect for heather. Heather tends to be like either this colour, a little bit of a muted orange, and then there's some really like violety magenta aspects to the petals on heather sometimes, depending what time of year you go in the moors. So I took them, they're perfect. I took this little fine yellow Posca, which is in a 1MR, which is the thinnest they do. It is tiny. This is perfect for like things like buttercup, small yellow flowers, little bits of, what is that moorland plant called when it's out? It'd be perfect for sunflowers as well, but I'm trying to think. There is a type of plant that grows in the moors and there is loads, it gets loads of yellow foliage like in springtime, early summer. And the petals smell dead coconutty. My mum pointed them out how nice they smell. I was like, oh my god, it really does. So perfect for them, and also once again just highlights and little blades of grass. I tend to find like mixing these kinds like the ivory yellow and like some browns and greens and some reds just tend to give like a really good like autumnal vibe to paintings, or they're just really good for moorlands. I know I keep saying the word moorlands, but it's just that's like what it reminds me of, those colours. And then I took these blues just for the water, if I can get it to focus. So I took, this one was slate grey in a 3M, this is a blue in a 3M, and a navy blue in a 3M. And then the last colour I took was kayak green in a 3M. This is another favourite. I use this in pretty much every paint. I just absolutely love it. And it's perfect. It's like such a good green colour. And I took them. So these were all the Poscas I took. And I didn't unfortunately get to use any of them. I did take my journal and pen just in case I wanted to journal. I am nearly finished. I won't show you too much. It's nearly finished. I started this December last year and I'm nearly finished the pages. I've just got that much left to write in. I won't show you obviously everything I've wrote in it because obviously it's all personal. But yes, it is so close to being finished, and then I can start a new journal. I love to journal, love to write, love to diary keep and write to-do lists and notes, so I took those with me. And then obviously can't go plein air painting without a formal sketchbook. I'm trying to finish this sketchbook. It is the Royal Talens Art Creations and it's in like this kind of like dusty blue colour. I started this May of this year. I obviously am hoping to finish it by the end of this year, but I don't. So this is how much I've done so far. Actually, I probably kind of did that since May, January, February, for 4 months, so August, September, October, November. I could actually maybe finish this year. I'm hoping to finish it by November, December time. So I've done this, and then in terms of the painting, this sadly measly piece is all I got done at Weskerley Reservoir. But like I say, we got there pretty late, and by the time I did some video footage for my intro at the reservoir and took photos and videos of some of the footage around there and kind of got comfortable and started to focus on the scene to sketch, it was pretty much getting to about 8:30, 9ish at night, and obviously the sun was setting and it was getting really hard to see. So that is pretty much all I got done. It was basically a little bit of moorlandy grass scene. There was some rocks, and then this was kind of like this muddy like boggy bit, and then there was the reservoir water. So I will be finishing this sometime this week as well. but I just took that. And then I took this is this like a transportable water. I took obviously a rubber, some little pins. I took a 2 extra just because sometimes my sister comes with us and likes to draw in Sketchbook, and my mum obviously plein air paints with me as well. And sometimes they forget the claw clip, so I bring 2 extra just in case one of them needs any. And then I take 4 little mini ones and I put them on each corner of my sketchbook. And then this is just a transportable water thing. It's the Faber-Castell one. Just really easy to transport. You don't have to worry about it smashing because obviously it won't. Sometimes I used to take glass, but I've smashed my odd glass one. It is very dirty and dusty, as you can see, all the paint coming off. It's just filthy. You get to use to death this. And then watercolour wise, I took these are in a Rosa Gallery tin. I know that's blasphemy, but it's actually Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolours in this. As you can see, get to use to death. And I'm terrible, I don't clean these, I'm terrible. And I don't clean the pans, I just leave them how they are. But yeah, used to death. Except from, I don't really go much in with purples. I tend to, as you can see, I go ham with like the yellow colours, the browns, the blacks, the white. I use the white quite a bit, but it tends to be like these are my like go-to colours. Anything from like, sorry, that was Hooker's Green, Sap Green and Emerald. And that was Raw Sienna, sorry, and Gamboge Hue, which is one of my favourites. I love these. And I use Raw Sienna and Burnt Sienna like there's no tomorrow in pretty much every painting. So I took them in my little tin. And then I also took the Dale & Rowney Aquafine. Really easy to use as well. Once again, comes with a good range of colours. The white was ruined years ago. I used it way to death. Now, as I'm getting a bit better with my art, I go for other colours to lighten certain colours that I need, rather than just always going towards white. Where when I first started painting, I was terrible for just using white to make anything like a paler neutral colour of itself. But what I slowly start to realise is when you add a lot of white to any pigment, it does lighten the colour, but it also dulls it down loads. So I found now that I'm a bit more advanced in my art and I'm a bit more better with colour theory, I know there is other means to lighten in certain colours, and I now kind of have a rough idea what are good colours to mix to make certain colour ranges that I want. But the Aquafine pretty much gives you the majority of what you really need. There is a lovely like dark like black blue there, that's a black, that's like a lovely like burnt umber kind of colour. Then you've got more of like your raw sienna, burnt sienna colours, a lot of good range of greens, some ultramarine, and then more of like a turquoisey blue, a good range of reds and like pinks and some oranges and yellows. It's just a really good palette to take. Loads of swatch areas. These trays come out as well, so you can clean them really easy. As you can see, I don't heed to my own advice and I've never cleaned this. Or you could just take it out fully and just have that section. I tend to use this to mix my colours and swatch on, and then I just wipe it down if I have the energy. It does come with a little paintbrush as well. As you can see, it is clean as anything. I never use it. I always forget it comes with a brush, and I already bring brushes and I tend to never use it. Terrible of me, I know, but I tend to just use my travel brushes basically. And that was everything I brought when it came to my plein air painting bag. That is everything that is inside my plein air painting bag. I take these kinds of things every time I go out to paint, especially when I'm outside. I take the same bag. Like I say, the only thing that ever changes is I'll sometimes take different colour markers, different paint pans. I've took my Rosa out before, and I've took my Mungyo palette out before. It just depends what I'm feeling in the mood for, but in a general gist, that's pretty much what I usually take. It's good water, good soup. Have you ever seen that TikTok audio where it's like, good soup? But like I said before, I'm so thirsty. Anyway guys, that was pretty much everything in my plein air painting bag. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what was in here and what I travel with. Like I say, when it comes to plein air painting and what I take, the only real things that I ever change, I always seem to take the same Posca markers, because even when I'm not plein air painting, I've got like a set range of Poscas that I just use pretty much in every video. I've got the same like 3 blues, the same green, the same brown, and the same white ivory and like a wine red colour that I use for like every scene, no matter what I'm painting. I'm just terrible, they're just my favourites. I do sometimes change some of the Faber-Castell markers that I bring. I sometimes don't bring all the dark colours. I'll just bring an odd light brown and maybe a black, or I'll just bring a light brown and a green and leave it at that and not take as many. I really went all out with the plein air painting session I did this weekend. I just took loads and I didn't even end up having time to use half the stuff. I also tend to keep the same in terms of like colouring pencils I take, fine liners. I always take kind of the same pencils, a rubber. I always take the same clips. The only other thing that I might sometimes change is I might change what paint palettes I bring. So usually I don't bring both. Like this weekend's plein air painting session, I took both the Dale & Rowney Aquafine and the Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolour palettes that I've got. But usually I'd only take one of those because they're the smallest of the travel palettes I've got, and they're just easy to take with me. They don't take up too much space, they're easy to use, move, and they lie pretty flat. So like because a lot of the time when you're painting outside, there's not always a guarantee there's going to be a bench or somewhere to sit, so you can kind of like just balance them really easy on things. And with them being smaller, I can kind of hold that and my book in one hand sometimes if I need to do that. But if I ever do change it and I don't take those two, I have before taken if I know there's going to be picnic benches or somewhere to properly sit, I have taken the Mungyo watercolour palette before, which I've shown in many other videos. I will link the video down below that I did a review on that. I did the review a couple of years back when I first bought it from the range. But I will link that, and I'll also link the Winsor & Newton and Dale & Rowney Aquafine review videos that I've done on my channel, just if you want to have a watch and see what the swatches look like and want some more details on those types of paints if you haven't got them or heard of them before. The only other palette I would really take, if not the Mungyo, because it's very long, it's an okay palette to travel with and doesn't take up too much space, but it is much longer because it's a 24 pan, so it takes up a little bit too much space for me. Especially when I'm just going plein air painting, I want my bag to be as light as I can get it. I have taken the Royal Talens Van Gogh mini travel palette before, but once again they're not as pigmented, so it depends if I just want a light wash of watercolour. I kind of prefer a bit more pigment to my watercolour washes because I just leave it as that as a base and then I add Poscas and markers on top of it. So it just very much depends, but I usually will take just either the Winsor & Newton Cotman or the Dale & Rowney Aquafine. So enough of my rambling, guys. I really do hope you all enjoyed this week's video. It's a little bit different and I really enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun doing this one. If you guys did like the video, feel free to give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out the channel and myself a lot and I really do appreciate it. Also, feel free, I will link down my socials below, and feel free to follow me on Ko-fi. I upload free reference photos of scenic areas that I travel to and also free reference photos of sketchbook pages I do that I don't sometimes always post on my other socials. I will also link my Instagram and TikTok down below. They're the other places you can find me, and soon there will be a website page that will be getting linked to because I will have my products for sale soon and I'm so excited about it. But without further ado, my dears, I hope you all had a lovely time with me today. I definitely enjoyed spending time with you guys and I will see you in next week's video, and without further ado, bye.